This is Ndtv, and you're watching Classics.
Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I am Shekhar Gupta. We are here in Shivaji Park, the very nursery or the cradle of Indian cricketing talent. And my guest today, perhaps the most famous and the most popular New Zealander ever in India, John Wright.
Hello, Shekhar.
Sir Edmund Hillary would take a bow, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I'm privileged to do what I do, to be honest.
He's got competition because I think just the feeling of having 1 billion fans, even Sir Edmund didn't have them.
I suppose that's the cricket in India.
Even though he climbed the Everest for it.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time. I mean, I suppose it's the first time I've come back to India and we've won a series away from home, so that's a bit different.
Well, it's a bit more than winning one series away. I think it's just that this seems to be a new kind of Indian team which wants to win, which is hungry, which is fitter, which has lasting power. It always had talent, but today there's a method to it.
Well, it's a process which we've worked hard at over the last, it's taken some time. It's nearly 3 years since I've been here. And it's been a gradual process, and really I just look at it as little steps, and this hopefully is another step in the right direction, and the boys will get belief and some confidence, and get some confidence in the things that they're doing, and the way that we sort of plan and play are getting the right results. And really the thing is now is to take the process forward and not get contented with ourselves and happy with ourselves, because there's a lot of that, and then we slip backwards, because that can happen.
So is this the Indian team of the future or of the next couple of years, or is it still a work in progress?
Oh no, it's always. I don't think you can ever say this is the team, because that's not fair on all the first-class cricketers out there and all the youngsters out there, because the greatest thing in what I do is if you've got competition coming through which keeps everyone on their toes, and everyone knows that that it's the performance that counts. And the other thing is that we don't play for ourselves, or you shouldn't play for yourselves. When you put on the Indian shirt, you're actually playing for the people and the country.
I think this ground on any morning might have more people playing cricket, more kids playing cricket than in all of New Zealand on certain
Absolutely.
best of times.
And that's something that that every India player has to be aware of. That is something that they must. These are the people we play for. One of the things that it's a personal thing for me, but one of the things that's most important for me, and sometimes keeps you going through the tough and hard times, is that I think we have the best fans, the most sensitive, the most passionate, sometimes the most volatile, but they deserve a good cricket team.
Right.
And they understand that winning and losing is part of the game, which sometimes in some countries is not accepted so well, but that I've always felt and tried to talk to the boys about that you can win, you lose, but you have to fight. You have to go out and compete, and you've got to be tough. You've got to play tough cricket. And I think if we play tough cricket and the result doesn't go our way, well, that can happen, but it's when we play soft cricket that
or if it looks
sad.
like you didn't try hard enough.
Well, I think I never say the boys I work with always try. They really try, but there've been times when perhaps we've let ourselves down for one or two reasons, and it looks soft.
Right.
And
Tell me about a couple of those times. Those must have been lows for you.
Well, the hardest times probably were the tour of New Zealand, because it was my home country and I knew I had a great cricket team.
Right.
And we just didn't perform there. I wasn't at all happy with the conditions we got given to play, and I thought that they were substandard. But we could have won those games just as easy as lost them, and there were always only 50 runs in the game, or maybe a toss. But that was a tough time.
But what happened? Was it a focus issue? Was it an adjustment issue?
I think it was a focus issue. We'd been on, and maybe a fatigue issue. We'd been playing 2 years straight, and it was almost just the bridge too far. And we were all focusing on the World Cup, and we just wanted to get that tour I think that was a feeling perhaps finished, and then get into the World Cup. And
But those were also very nasty pitches in New Zealand.
oh yeah, the pitches certainly didn't help, but they certainly didn't help New Zealand either. I think they've learnt from those sorts of things, and climatically it was a pretty tough season. But the one thing we did do over there was train really hard. We monitor and measure through, it was then Adrian LaRue, now it's Greg King, how many sessions each individual player does a week, and the best training we did was in New Zealand. So
Right.
the team overall, and I'm
Gain
talking
from it.
well, we were the fittest going to South Africa, so although we performed badly, and there's no excuse for that, we were a very fit team going to South Africa. So,
But John, there were other letdowns. The letdown in the West Indies, for example, after winning a test, I believe that got you really low. And were those times of despair?
well, I think the thing that I see is the awareness of what the team is capable of, and sometimes you have to go through those learning periods, and you have to view those losses as learning opportunities. You take the flak, but you can learn an awful lot about yourself as a coach or as a player.
But I believe you were very upset in the West Indies. Those
I was.
people who know you said this was the lowest point in your tenure here.
Well, it was just I was particularly the last test where we batted out at, I think, at 50 minutes, or it might have been even half an hour. It rained the next day, and that would have drawn the test series. Okay, you don't want to depend on weather, but what a waste. We didn't bat with the conviction that I felt was required.